Not a brand new silhouette by any means, but with constant sales, new collaboration colorways, as well as the Dorenbecher launch, we figured we'd take a look at the Nike Air Max Sunder. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and breakdown on a fairly obscure model, at least for me. Maybe not for Air Max fans or for fans of old school Nike trainers. Is 1999? That's old school now, right? Okay, in my head it's the 80s, but I guess not.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, it's a shoe that has come back recently. I've seen them in numerous colorways. They've all been listed as women's exclusives, which I think is weird because the original shoe is for both men and women. But they come in this original style box right here, so I think that that's cool. Kind of a weird model to do that with, just because there's some shoes where I'm like, hey, why didn't that come in an original style box, but this other one like this did? Who knows? Either way, I believe this is a Nike sportswear release, but originally this was Nike Performance. And again, it was listed underneath the training category. Now this colorway is not an original one, but they are fairly familiar looking just because they look like an original colorway, minus the gradient application along the upper and everything like that. So I think that those are my favorite looking versions of these shoes, is the ones that kind of have that faded look. But a lot of people have been loving tonal looks, so something like this makes sense as well, especially with it being such an easy shoe to apply color to, because this whole upper is just basically like spandex. So it's interesting. But anyways, these guys originally released way back in 1999. The outsole itself is a training outsole. I don't know if I want to call this like reminiscent of the waffle sole, because it's not really. There are little tiny squared lugs in there, but it's not really a true waffle outsole. But it is a full rubber outsole, which I think is very cool and very interesting. This is for multiple different types of training exercises, both in the gym, on the track or the field, the turf, whatever. You can do lots of stuff in these shoes, which I think is interesting. The rubber is pretty soft, so if you were to still wear these as like a actual training shoe, they might not last quite as long as you'd hope. But for casual or lifestyle purposes, I think that they'll be just fine. I love this series of like Air Max or just Nike cushion labeling, if you will, because they had these same logos with Zoom Air, they had them with Tuned Air and all that. I love it, dude. Like, this was that era, and I just think that it's awesome. But either way, that logo is on there. It's very tiny, but it is very cool nonetheless. Now moving on up, we do have a Phylon midsole. It's actually quite comfortable as well. It doesn't feel quite as dense as some other types of Phylons. So this right here feels really good, especially in conjunction with the Air Max units that are in place. So this one has forefoot and heel visible air sole units, which is cool. Visible air to me is like the thing. Like, it's the thing that drew me. You know what I mean? Being able to see the tech, I was like, man, I really want one of those. I want to see how they feel. I want to feel like I'm running faster and jumping higher. Obviously, those things really don't happen when you wear air units, but maybe in your mind they do. I mean, who cares? I was a kid. You know what I mean? I was susceptible to marketing.
Do you miss that?
Being so naive.
Having your mom ask you, do those shoes make you run really fast?
And then being an idiot and being like, watch this. Everything feels really good with this shoe. The forefoot is a little firmer than the rear, but I think that's fine. I think that for all day use or casual use, lifestyle use, this is dope. If you're looking for it for performance for whatever reason, I think you're gonna get a lot of stability in the forefoot with some impact protection, and then impact protection and plushness in the heel. I can't really take out the insole because it's like glued to one of those like fabric-y style of Strobles, which I absolutely dislike, but the insole is a piece of shit. If you wanted to take it out and swap it out for anything else that you'd like, you might need to use a hairdryer first, because the glue is really like adhered to that like fabric-y bottom. Now, in terms of the upper, I think that that's the coolest part about these things. Although I will say that the tech is equally as cool, but the upper is just really dope. I love this era of footwear of zippers and enclosures. I know a lot of people don't, especially nowadays, but you gotta understand that back in the late 90s, like this right here was a vibe. The Nike Zoom glove, the Son of glove, it was so cool. The Answer 4s from Reebok, it was so awesome. So yeah, I love this. I do think that the pull tab thing, or whatever this little ring is on the zipper, is very weird, because I like want to, like, it feels like it's upside down to pull it down, because it doesn't move inside of this, like, whatever this metal thing is, you know what I mean? But I want to like constantly like mess with it to unzip it. But that's basically how you do it. And then to zip it up, I feel like it's like more normal. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way that it should be facing. So I don't know if that's just my brain, but yeah. Either way, I think it's awesome. And in the original East Bay catalog, they actually show the way that a lot of people would wear shrouded stuff back in the day, which is folded down, even though you can't really do that with this one. Like, they just want to go right back up. So I don't know how they were doing that. I don't know if it was implemented differently back then, because this one feels a little thicker than usual. But basically the upper was very similar to something like the Nike Zoom glove, where the outer shell was a Lycra spandex. And again, that's how they were able to get all of those really cool, fun looking gradient colors on them. And then the rim right here is just a synthetic material. They actually come with a sticker inside that says that the shoe uses synthetic leathers. So this is, what would you call it? Like animal free. There's no actual raw materials on this. But yeah, so the black portion that you see, synthetic nubuck. They actually have what they used to call TPR panels. I don't know if they still do, but all of these little squares that are all over the place, they're featured on both the medial and lateral side, and it's for support on both ends. TPR is thermoplastic rubber, for those of you guys that wanted to know, and it doesn't feel like rubber, it just feels kind of hard.
That's what she said.
One of the more interesting things about the shoe is, even though it is a Nike product, there's not a ton of Nike branding, at least not anything like truly hardcore and in your face. That was usually, you know, a 90s staple, 80s and 90s actually, where giant swooshes and things like that were a thing, much like they are today, where you got shoes like the LeBron and the design is a swoosh, real creative. But yeah, basically the only thing that you can see besides the air at the base of the lace or zipper is a little baby swoosh right there, and I think that it's cool. Although you do have some branding on the heel tab, but again, very minimal. Inside the shoe is the rest of the shoe, or the main body of the shoe. That's all textile, so again, very similar to a lot of the basketball products that featured zippered enclosures as well. The one thing that's missing though is the monkey paw system. So on the Gary Payton like Zoom Flight gloves, they had plastic, what they called a monkey paw, and it was like, looked like a hand essentially, and those were support pieces. Obviously this is a little bit different, so when you do look inside there, it looks more like the Son of glove, which was a takedown shoe. But basically this has a textile or mesh build, and then there are nylon lace loops. They don't go all the way down to the strobel, but they are affixed to the mesh itself. One of the things that I personally don't love about the shoe, that I think some people might not either, is that the internal sneaker portion or shoe portion, or the upper, is all one piece. Like, this is a full stock, and it's not like the easiest to open up, even though they were not hard for me to get on. But I could see some people, maybe if you have a high arch or a wide foot, maybe that being an issue.
No, don't like that.
In terms of sizing, they do fit true to size. Whatever you typically wear, that is what I would recommend. They are available at various retailers. This particular pair we grabbed locally here over at Phenom. They're located in the Doco Shopping Center right across from the Macy's that is now closing.
My God, why?
And with all that being said, what is today's, I don't even want to know.
It's not a bad question.
Why do you gotta smirk like that? It looks so evil.
Because I have my answer.
Oh, okay.
If you're a hero/villain, what weapon will you choose? No superpowers.
So you're like a Batman style?
Yes.
Nightwing style?
Yes.
And you're a hero?
Or a villain.
Or a villain. You go first.
Crossbow.
So what are you?
I don't know.
I mean, are you a hero?
I could be either one.
Are you sure? You do know that crossbows are lethal.
Well, I gotta defend myself.
Because you're what?
I don't know.
Technically, both people are the aggressors.
I would pick a bow and arrow because I think they're cool and I'm pretty decent with them, but...
Excuse me?
I am.
Back the truck up for a
once
second.
took your nose off from you barely peeking your head around the corner with one of those suction cup ones.
Yes,
I'm pretty good.
re-explain that. That was a toy bow and arrow. It was miniature.
I was really good at it.
It's not a real one. It's not even close to the same thing.
So in my mind, I am pretty decent.
So that's your parameter.
Yes.
For your skill set is a miniature bow and arrow?
Yes.
No.
Which is why, as a full-grown adult with a full-grown weapon, I would choose then a crossbow instead. Your turn.
I think you're delusional.
Your turn.
A bow and arrow needs lots of force. Even a crossbow to just set it up, you gotta...
I'll be like inside of it, setting it up.
You're gonna shoot your own foot. That's what you're gonna do.
No, most likely I'll shoot your foot.
We're not teaming up here.
I know, but you'll be in the vicinity.
Why? Am I the hero or the villain? What are you?
We're partners.
No, I said no team up.
Wow.
I'm Batman.
That's rude. He has a team.
Kind of, but like...
He has a little JV squad with him, and then he has the whole Justice League.
First off, he's reluctant to be in the Justice League. Second off, he sends the little guys out to do their own thing. Except for Robin. He's got to kind of protect him otherwise. Sometimes they die. Fine, I would be Nightwing. He doesn't have a team.
You would just have billy clubs?
Well, no, I'm just saying in, like, the sense, like, yes, I know that he has Titans, but, like, Maybe I would be more like the Red Hood. Actually, I know that I would be. And what is he? A hero or a villain? It depends on his mood. And I'm talking about the Jason Todd Red Hood, not the original Joker Red Hood, just in case you guys were curious. If I were a hero, essentially, you could not kill people.
Maybe I would use my crossbow to pin people up and leave them.
You're that good?
Yes.
God, you're delusional. I can't believe that this is where we're going. So yes, if I was a hero, you would not be able to kill anybody because you're the good guy. Can I have web shooters?
I guess if you make them, you have to make your own fluid.
I wouldn't be able to swing from buildings because otherwise I'd rip my f***ing arms out of my socket, but...
Maybe you could do them from like little buildings.
No, okay, gravity. Jeez. You would just have, you would have your arm dangling
No, you would like
while the rest of your body falls
it's a
to its doom.
grappling hook. Like
No, dude, this is not, realistically, that doesn't work.
you're really sucking the joy out of this question of the day.
No, it's not the joy, it's that if this is real, I don't want to die. Villain, no weapons, or no powers, but weapon. Are lightsabers a thing?
I suppose.
Totally that.
I would shoot your lightsaber out of your hand and pin it to a tree that you cannot reach.
Okay. You're so weird. What about you guys? If you were a hero or a villain, do one of each. What weapons would you choose and why? And on top of all of that, what do you think about these? Let us know down below in the comment section. Is this a shoe that you remember fondly from 1999, or is this a shoe that you have forgotten about completely? And you're like, why the f is that a thing? Why is it out again? Sound off below and let us know. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. We hope that you had fun, and we will catch you guys in the next one. So until then, y'all have a good one.